I tested 5 browsers people call anonymous, and one of them isn't playing the same game as the other 4. I'm going to show you exactly what each one actually does, including the stuff their download pages don't put front and center. And the 5th one is going to surprise you because it solves a problem the first 4 can't touch at all. Real talk before we start. I'll also show you how to get 2 gigabytes of free proxies near the end if the 5th browser turns out to be the one you actually need. Quick checkpoint to set up everything else. Anonymous gets used as one label for 3 different jobs. Tracker blocking, stopping ads and analytic scripts from following you around the web. Fingerprint defense. A fingerprint is basically your browser's unique combination of screen size, fonts, and hardware details that sites use to recognize you even without cookies. And IP hiding, an IP address is basically your device's home address on the internet. Hiding it means a site can't trace the connection back to your location. Keep those 3 in your head. Every browser below does some mix of them, and browser number 5 does none of them, because it's not trying to. Browser 1, Brave. On the independent privacy test.org suite, an open source test that runs about 156 automated privacy checks, Brave scores around 143 out of 156, the highest of any browser I'm covering today. It randomizes your fingerprint per session and per site out of the box, no setup. It's also built on Chromium, so it's fast and compatible with basically every website. The honest limitation, Brave has its own opt-in ad and crypto reward system built in. It's disclosed and it's one toggle to turn off, but it means install and forget isn't quite 100% true until you flip that one switch. Checkpoint. Brave. Best score, fastest, one toggle you should know about. Browser 2, Firefox. Firefox is the browser you tune rather than install and forget. Total cookie, protection isolates trackers by default and multi-account containers. Basically separate cookie jars for different tabs. Let a work login and a personal login sit in the same browser without mixing. It's also the only mainstream non-Chromium browser with real reach, which matters if you don't want the entire web following whatever Google decides for Chrome. The honest limitation, out of the box, Firefox trails Brave on the same test suite. It needs some manual hardening to close that gap. If you want that hardening already done for you, there's a stripped-down Firefox fork called LibreWolf that ships those settings pre-configured. Worth a look if Firefox's defaults feel like too much homework. Checkpoint. Firefox, most control, but you have to actually use it. Browser 3, Tor. Tor routes your traffic through 3 independent relays, basically bouncing your connection through 3 separate computers before it reaches the site. So the destination never sees your real IP address. This is the only browser here that actually hides your IP, not just your fingerprint. Every Tor user is also made to look identical to every other Tor user on purpose. Spoofed time zone, uniform window size, because blending into a crowd defeats fingerprinting better than trying to look unique but private. The honest limitation, all that bouncing makes pages load slower, and plenty of sites throw extra captchas at Tor traffic because scammers use it too, so you get lumped in with them. Checkpoint. Tor, the only real IP hider here and the biggest speed trade-off. Browser 4, DuckDuckGo. Built for simplicity, especially on mobile. The fire button clears your session in one tap, tracker blocking runs with 0 setup. Great install and forget pick for casual daily browsing. The honest limitation, its advanced privacy controls are noticeably thinner than Firefox's or Brave's, and part of its search results are powered through a partnership with Microsoft's Bing. It's a genuinely good everyday tool. It's not the deepest one here. Checkpoint. DuckDuckGo, easiest, shallowest controls. So that's 4 browsers, 4 different trade-offs, no single winner. Brave for best defaults, Firefox for control, Tor for real, IP hiding, DuckDuckGo for zero-effort mobile use. Anyone telling you one crushes all 3 others at everything is selling you something. Now, Browser 5 is different, and I want to say exactly how before I show you why it's actually impressive. GoLogin isn't trying to block trackers better than Brave or hide your IP better than Tor. It's not even competing in that race. It solves a problem none of the first 4 were built for. What happens when you're not trying to hide one identity? You're trying to run several separate identities from the same computer and keep a platform from realizing they're all connected to the same person. That's called multi-accounting, basically managing more than one account on a platform without the platform linking them back to you. An SMM agency running 5 client social accounts, an affiliate marketer testing ad campaigns, a seller running several storefronts. That's the actual job here, and it's genuinely a different job from private browsing. GoLogin is an anti-detect browser, basically a browser that lets you create several separate browser identities on one machine, each with its own fingerprint and its own isolated cookies. So two accounts running side by side don't look like the same person to a website. It runs on its own Chromium-based engine and, per profile, spoofs over 50 individual browser and device parameters, canvas, WebGL, fonts, audio, hardware signals, the whole ID card your browser normally broadcasts. Every profile also syncs to the cloud, so you're not stuck on one machine, and by 2026, it's been used across roughly 5 million profiles, mostly by SMM agencies, affiliate marketers, e-commerce sellers, and QA testers, which tells you it's not a fringe tool, it's an industry standard one for this specific job. Before logging into anything on a new profile, there's one non-negotiable step. Verify it on Iphey.com, a free site that checks whether your browser plus proxy combination looks clean, the same way a platform's own risk system would. In GoLogin, you click Run on a profile, top of the profile list, and it opens like a normal browser window. Open a new tab, go to Iphey.com. Green result means clean IP class, no web RTC leak. A common leak vector. Basically a technical hole that can expose your real IP even behind a proxy. Matching time zone, matching language. Red or mismatched, you regenerate the profile before going near a real login. Here's the actual setup. In the GoLogin dashboard, left side, click Profiles, then Create Profile, top right. Paste your proxy credentials into the proxy field. Here's the part that surprises people. You don't touch time zone or language at all. GoLogin reads the proxy's IP and matches both automatically. Click Save, then Run. A fresh browser window opens. Straight to Iphey.com to check for green. Create, paste proxy, launch, verify. That's the whole core loop, and once you're comfortable, you can open a second and third profile the same way, running side by side in separate windows. Here's a real example. An SMM agency managed several client accounts from one laptop using regular browser profiles on the same home IP. Two accounts were flagged as linked because the platform saw matching fingerprints and the same connection, using separate GoLogin profiles with separate proxies, and verifying each one on Iphey before logging in helps keep those accounts isolated. One thing to remember, the browser is only part of the equation. Behavior matters too. Logging into several new accounts back-to-back or using them unnaturally can still trigger verification. An anti-detect browser reduces technical links between profiles, but it doesn't make accounts invisible. Whether you're managing a few accounts or dozens, the basics stay the same. Give every profile its own proxy, verify it on Iphey before signing in, and use higher quality residential proxies on stricter platforms whenever possible. The trade-off is simple. Residential and mobile proxies usually cost more than data center proxies, but they're generally trusted by more platforms. And no setup can guarantee you'll never be flagged. It reduces risk, it doesn't eliminate it, so that's the difference between all 5 browsers. Brave gives you the strongest privacy defaults. Firefox offers the most control. Tor hides your IP. DuckDuckGo keeps things simple. GoLogin is designed for anonymous browsing and separating browser profiles, so platforms don't automatically connect them together. If you want to try it yourself, you can get 40% off and claim 2 GB of free proxies through the link in the description or the pinned comment.